Mount Rushmore of Winnipeg Jets. I'm only doing 2.0 again because I did not have the experience of watching Jets 1.0 growing up. So I think Mount Rushmore, we're not putting these in any order. They're not doing 1, 2, 3, 4 because I didn't prep this segment. So let's start with kind of an easy one. Number one is Mark Scheifele. I think Mark Scheifele, in terms of as a player, as he's what he's meant to the city, some of the memories that have kind of been put in this kind of this iteration of the Winnipeg Jets. You think about the goals, like how many goals did he score in that 2018 run? I think did he still set the record for goals on, was it goals on the road for a player in a playoff series? Top goal scorer in the franchise's history, the first ever draft pick. I think you got to say that he is the number one player or on the Mount Rushmore of Winnipeg Jet hockey players. For the second person on our Mount Rushmore of the Winnipeg Jets, I think we're going to have to go with Blake Wheeler. Blake Wheeler came in. He's been gone for 2 seasons now, but he came into the Winnipeg Jets as a franchise. And he didn't have the offensive numbers to be like a top line winger in the league, but he was so good at driving possession. His primary assist rates were just off the charts. Just stuff like passing to the slot, like all these things. Back when he was like first came here, he had this like super power forward build, and he was able to just always just drop his shoulder, go in. You would see this all the time. And as he kind of aged, he kind of transformed from this power forward to this playmaker, and he was able to just throw out like these 90-point seasons as a playmaker. And it's funny because I would say his best season was probably 16-17, right before they kind of crossed that mark and got into the playoffs, and he was scoring 90 points a season. But he became a power play kind of not power play specialist, but his best moments were on the power play, and he would throw up like 40 power play point seasons and like back to back in 2018, 2019. And just the longevity of Blake Wheeler from starting in 2011 all the way up until you can even say like even when he started to kind of go, he still had some great moments here, and he was just awesome. Like and then there's some things in the dressing room. I don't know if that's how we should remember him, but Wheeler had some great years. Gilbert Marion says Wheeler had some great years, but I'm not a fan. I think that's understandable. I think he's going to be kind of a polarizing figure, but I think we can remember him for the Winnipeg Jet he was. And then I think the next one's Dustin Byfuglien. And Dustin Byfuglien, just so impactful in terms of like in those years, those early ones where we're throwing out Ron Hainsey. How many Winnipeg Jets random defensemen can I name? Keaton Ellerby, Randy Jones, Grant Clitsome, Zach Redmond. There's a name. He was just someone out there you could watch every time. Hockey sense off the charts for a guy who didn't seem to really want to be playing hockey for a living, and just as soon as he was done, he was like, okay, I'm just going fishing now. No one understood the role of the blue line kind of like Dustin Byfuglien in terms of how he patrolled it, wouldn't let you in. He got caught sometimes because of that understanding, but I also think that Dustin Byfuglien, so polarizing, so good on the power play, played forward defense, like a much better defenseman than a forward, but just someone who was so polarizing. And I think Gilbert's saying it best here. Buff was the best. He's a hockey unicorn. And I just don't think there's anyone like him in terms of what you can bring to a game and how he can just change a game. He scored goals from center ice randomly sometimes. He would just grab 2 guys by the shoulder. There was no aspect of the game in which Dustin Byfuglien did not excel. And it's just crazy. We'll never see that again. And it just what a joy to watch for how many seasons was he here? Just 7 or 8 seasons that he was here. Just a ridiculous decade in terms of a Winnipeg Jet. And then number 4, it's got to be Connor Hellebuyck. Connor Hellebuyck has got to be the 4th on our Mount Rushmore of Winnipeg Jets. And I just think that for a guy, he's the only Winnipeg Jet who has won an individual trophy. He's won the Vezina twice. He'll probably win a 3rd one this year. I think it's kind of self-explanatory at this point of how good this guy is. He is just the guy, when they scouted him, they were looking at the other goalie, and that kind of happy accident has led to kind of this era of Winnipeg Jets hockey from 2017 to 2025. Like, you go back to that 2018 team, the night one starter was Steve Mason, and Steve Mason was off the team by the next year. Gilbert says best goalie in the world. Absolutely. Like, I don't think there's any, I just don't think there's any like question to that, right? Like the game in, game out performance. He is just an absolute stud of a goalie. And you kind of see him evolve too. Like he's going from this kind of, he at the beginning he just let pucks hit him. He could kind of get beat that way. When a break would come in on him, he would do the same thing every time, where he'd kind of go down like on his stomach almost and just take away the bottom of the net. He's really evolved in how his game has been played. He was really bad playing the puck early in his career. You saw a little bit of that in the first period. We had a little bit of a jump scare, but he's improved on that. He's always trying to improve, always doing everything he can to kind of develop his. He's just a guy who just does it all, never satisfied with things. Do it in the playoffs, Hall of Fame. Yeah, like it's gonna be hard if he gets a third Vezina to not get him in the Hall of Fame. But I think do it in the playoffs, Hall of Famer yeah, well said. That's kind of all we got to go with off there. All right, let's go to the fourth period here. This is the part of the show where you guys can ask any sort of questions you would like. I'll have to try and go back up because I think I missed some messages here. So I'll kind of go back up here. But I'm going to do our final ad read, and then we'll kind of go into any questions that we might have throughout the final segment here. So what better way to support something you love than by repping it on yourself? Game Over Winnipeg's apparel line has dropped. Look at these. Look at this mug. I love the mugs. I shamelessly plug the mugs all the time. Game Over Winnipeg's apparel line is dropped with 3 unique lines. Whether you feel the nostalgic pull of our retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design, want to wear your love of goalies proudly with our live or die by the goalie design, or if you just need another coffee to get or a toque to get you through the winter, we have you covered. Designed by Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream now and take a look through our apparel store and help us rebuild local sports media in Winnipeg while repping your community. Gilbert says, gotta go. First time here. Good luck, kid. Man, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the conversation. Really appreciate you, man. Have a good one. All right. So we are here. We are in the fourth period. Any other questions? SGA Sports Talk said, love all your content. Thank you so much. Great guy. I try my best. You're the OG Winnipeg Jets content creator. Man, we need some more than if I'm the OG. Like, I've been doing this. I think I've been doing this since September. So make sure you're following some other guys. Make sure there's other guys out there if you want some more content. So someone else who goes to creative communications with me that's almost too much information. Someone else who goes to college with me, Zachary Nolan, does a really great job. He actually went to the Four Nations face-off game in Montreal. Super cool. You should go follow him as well as the Top Line podcast with Nick Lynham. He's really good too. All right. And it seems like we don't have any questions here unless I get interrupted. Thank you so much for watching. Our next game will actually be over at the Game Over Ottawa channel. So the Winnipeg Jets are playing against the Senators on Wednesday. So I'll be over there to kind of converse with Mode over there and talk about all of the hockey Ottawa Senators things after the Winnipeg Jets play them, hopefully beat them for their 11th in a row. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten this far, man, please just like and subscribe. It's a super easy way to support the channel. And thank you so much again. All right, I love going on other people's channels, showing love and support in the fellow content creators out there. Yeah, and thank you so much for stopping by. I'm glad you could be a part of the show. Definitely helped planning that little segment there. I had other stuff planned, but you just took the ball. If we want to talk about the Mount Rushmore of Winnipeg Jets stuff, we can. Yeah, have a good night, man. Appreciate you. All right, and so with that, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching Game Over Winnipeg, and I will, and yeah, just peace out, Girl Scouts.